All right, welcome to another episode. This is Willa Lifts Alone, sadly. So I kind of decided to structure this a little bit different. I just recorded the main lift of this, which was the weighted pull ups. Well, right now, what I'm doing, since it's a pull day, I just practiced my calisthenics stuff. So I'm trying to do a flag pull. I've been practicing a little bit. My shoulder's a little wonky, just my left one, since there's a hole in it. Uh, but I practiced my calisthenics moves real quick. I didn't do this first, but I decided to put this part in the front because I thought it'd be just a little bit more entertaining than just watching me do a bunch of weighted pull-ups. But also, if I feel like yapping more, I might also throw the flexing portion in the end of this as well, just so there's more time for me to talk about whatever I want. But yeah, first I try to do a flag pull. I'm not very good at it right now. I've been practicing for about this is the second week, I guess. I haven't been really consistent. I think I'm getting to the point where it actually looks like I'm controlling my descent as opposed to just falling. Right now, I set up the camera to do, I think, one arm pull ups. So, what I'm also doing is going to grab a dumbbell, stand on it because I'm kind of short, 5'9", and the pull up bars are super high. So, what is that, like 6'7"? I'm standing on top of a dumbbell, like a larger dumbbell, and then I'm doing the one arm pull up. Also, it's hard to do one arm pull ups when your shoulder is completely or when your arm is completely stretched, so you're at the complete bottom position. I have to do them with a little bit of tension in my arm. See, those first two reps was with a little bit of tension, and then you'll see that I try to do it without any tension at all. And I think it's after this, and I can't really do them. But yeah, I'm by myself, so I decided to do it this way. Think it'd be more entertaining. I kind of talk about what I'm doing in the video and also just talk about whatever I feel like talking about. But this is towards the end of the back workout when I'm supposed to be doing chin ups because I got rid of bicep curls and just started doing chin ups instead. And instead of doing just chin ups, I decided to just have fun with it. So maybe this isn't the place to really see if I'm able to actually do most of these moves because I also do a muscle up here. Yep. This isn't the place to see if I can do most of these moves because I'm already tired from lifting. But it's also like I'm just having fun with it. So it's always important to make sure you have fun when you work out. You don't always have to necessarily stick to the exact same plan. As long as you know that as long only doing the same things is pretty much to help to make sure that you're getting stronger. It's hard to tell if you're getting stronger when you're doing like 13 different exercises every time you go to the gym to train your chest. But not only is it a good way of getting strong, of making sure you're getting stronger, it's a good way to actually get stronger because you're able to progressive overload and increase the reps, increase the sets, increase the weight, that jazz. Yeah, here I do like actual chin-ups for a little bit, so it's pretty valid. I like to just throw myself as high as I possibly can get. Not as high right now because I am a little bit fatigued. Probably see. Then I go for the neutral grip, just for fun, just to get a couple more reps, just to see how it feels. But yeah, after this little portion will be me doing the weighted pull-ups, and of course I go 45 45 plus 25, so 70, and then 90, 2 plates. I do the 2 plates twice instead of just once like I usually do. What I'm also starting to realize is that since we only do weighted pull ups once a week, they haven't really gotten much stronger. Like, I don't think I've gotten any better at them, if that makes sense. So I think I might have to stop doing the Yates rows on the second pull day and just do more weighted pull ups. I like how the Yates rows make my back feel, but I would like to see some improvement in my weighted pull ups. My Yates rows, I did a front lever here. It's not very good. My I was a little bit hinged. I wasn't completely straight, but I haven't really been practicing those. I'm glad I'm still able to do them. I try to go for a back lever, but that shit is not gonna work. And every time I do a back lever, it kind of hurts. Like, I don't know if anyone else experiences that, but not hurts like in a bad way, but it's definitely a lot more taxing. on the body than some of the other ones. Yeah, I completely fail on this one. But other than that, what was I just saying? Yeah, I've noticed I've gotten stronger when it comes to doing 8 rows. My pull-ups have been about the same. I've been doing 2 plates on pull-ups for maybe I can do like an extra 1 or 2 more reps. I've been doing about that weight for almost a year plus now, so it might just be I have to train that more often instead of only once a week. So might have to switch to that. And that's a part of the reason why we stopped doing weighted dips, is because I felt like the incline press was suffering from it. Not that it had to, but I feel like it was because I didn't want to do both in the same session. But that's definitely a possibility. I used to do both. I'd incline and then I would do weighted dips. That's good. That's not. It's honestly not bad. I think instead of doing weighted dips, we started just doing like a somewhat inclined flat bench. So we could probably switch that with weighted dips. But I like doing the dips at the end, doing them with the long pause in the bottom instead. I feel like it gets a nice stretch on the pecs, and it leaves a nice pump too. But yeah, starting off the weighted pull-ups, do about 8 reps with 45. And that's pretty much all that happens on this later half of the video. So, like I said, it is a little bit more boring and a little bit less to talk about. So, I guess this is a part where I don't really talk about the workout anymore. I just talk about whatever I want. I guess, oh, another thing to mention. Usually, if you've been watching these videos, I'll be doing I'll start off doing calf raises because I'm working on my calves. But after that, on the pull day, we'll do rear delt flies. I'm thinking that my rear delts haven't really changed, grown, gotten more defined in a minute now. So thinking about replacing the rear delt flies with a different rear delt mover. So I might have to use the pec deck in either a single arm or double arm variant to hit the rear delts, or I might have to use a cable, and that might be the missing link. So we're trying that out next back day. This is pretty much the heads up. Um, well, that's really all the workout stuff. Let's see what I could talk about that doesn't involve working out. Okay, so big thing I would share right now, if people haven't recognized, if this is your first time viewing, I'm kind of a nerd. So, or not a nerd, I guess the correct term would be a geek. But I'm a big anime fan, big into video games. Well, I guess like these things aren't really all that unique nowadays. And I wouldn't say I'm a what is not a supremacist. I wouldn't say I'm a an elitist, yeah. But I've been watching this shit for a minute. Well, I've been about 22, probably been watching anime since I was about 5 or 6. So some of my earliest memories. Before I knew what it was, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff, and then finding out what it is and continuing to watch it. So I don't know if anyone is keeping up with not Black, with My Hero Academia, or you've seen the memes or anything of that fashion. But the ending, My Hero Academia just dropped, and of course spoilers, but or the final chapter of My Hero Academia just dropped, and I feel like it's quite sad. I feel like the ending that Deku got just isn't isn't what he deserved at all. Because, in my opinion, man, this dude was actually a pretty solid dude. He risked pretty much life and limb to take on the greatest responsibility possible. Like, he took on the quirk that pretty much made him cursed, because by taking on one for all, he had to fight all for one. So by taking on this responsibility, well, with great power comes great responsibility, and he had the greatest power, so he had the greatest responsibility to not just be the number one hero, but to face the greatest threat the world had ever seen. So this is what he accepted by taking on this quirk, from going from quirkless to having this quirk, and then it destroying his body, and then him breaking his body to almost the absolute breaking point just to continue fighting and all that stuff. So I know there's a lot of complaints about Deku being like a crybaby, or even I've complained that if he really wanted to be a hero, he should have done something similar to what Asta did back in Black Clover, which is if you want to be a hero so bad, you should be training. And if you look into the verse of My Hero, there are lots of characters that literally their quirks almost do nothing. Are their quirks are almost negligent to their abilities. If you look at Eraserhead or if you look at Stain, they don't have any physical enhancements. All they got is a quirk that affects other people, and then they fight people with augmented quirks. Like they fight people that have speed boosts and strength boosts. They fight these kind of people by pretty much just being normal humans. Like if they were just themselves but with a gun, it would probably be more effective than with their quirk. I'm just say that. But so my big complaint I had about Midori is that he never just worked out and trained, and even after losing his quirk, bro just Loki just gave up on being a hero. He didn't continue training. He didn't continue like martial arts. He didn't continue like I don't know. He even like look into research and development to creating something to allow him to continue to fight. I'm pretty sure it's actually something that My Hero Academia explores. Isn't there a dude that I think it's in the Vigilante like spinoff? It is a dude that doesn't have a quirk but like fights. I'm not too sure, and I never really looked into that. But what I would say, so I just have to comment on the video. Oh yeah, this dude told me to shout him out. Let me make sure I do that right now. I also put I also put it in the description. I took a screenshot of it, so would have to find it again. Where is he at? Okay. So shout out to Sam All Fan VS8 DK or Same All Samal Ruffin. I don't know. You'll see it in the description. But shout out to him or her or them. Shout out to that person, that user. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Sudeku. Yeah, I'm probably gonna throw the flexing video at the end of this so I can continue yapping. But Deku really should have been training the whole time. I don't see why he stopped training just because he lost his quirk. It's been brought to my attention, not brought to my attention, but I've kind of learned or been educated on the fact that being a teacher in Japan isn't that is like something that's actually kind of honorable. In the United States, of course, teachers are appreciated, but it's not seen as like an esteemed position. Even though as a teacher, you have the capability of being very well off, even though most teachers probably are not. But it doesn't change the fact that he like pretty much people said that he peaked in high school. Like the most that he'd ever do and accomplish was done in high school. And even despite that being a fact, I also saw someone say that they live in a society of glazers, yet nobody is there, like appreciating what this man went through and did. And that's a really valid point. That despite pretty much saving the entire world, there is no one there to. There's no one there to be like, oh, this is Deku. This only happened with one person, but there should be crowds following him everywhere he goes. There should be media waiting outside his door when he leaves his building, waiting to hound him so that they can like get an interview or something. Even if it is 8 years later, they don't even have a statue of him. They still have a statue of All Might, and I think behind him there was like a bunch of other mysterious figures. There was no Deku statue. And it's not to say that oh he has to have a statue. I need him to have a statue, but it's just why doesn't he have one? Despite everything he did, it would only make sense for him to have one, in my honest opinion. It's not like it doesn't make sense. So in the society of glazers, for him not to be getting glazed, it doesn't make sense. So for him to peak in high school after putting everything on the line, after absolutely dedicating himself, mind, body, and soul to being a hero, for him not to be a hero anymore until the last panel, this doesn't make any sense. I feel like he deserves better. Um, there are people that are complaining about like the romance side of things. Me personally, I don't really care for if romance is always explored in a show. I feel like if it's a loose end, it should be explored. So I think with the chapter before, where Deku goes to Uraraka while she's crying, that kind of settles some of it, but not all of it. So I don't think that they just completely ignored the notion of them being together. So I think you just kind of have to accept what you got on that end, because that's not the most pressing matter. It's the setup from the beginning was this is how I become the greatest hero, and really it's this is how I have the greatest fall off of all history. That's kind of how it really was. Right now I'm just in the video to be on track with where I am audio wise. I'm kind of watching the video at the same time as playing the audio. Okay, so I think right now it should be me wrapping up the pull-ups, and then it's gonna go over to being in the gym. I just kind of flex the back a little bit while the shirt's still on. Hey, back to like talking about working out for a second. Like I never realized. Well, I guess kind of realized, but your back, how big your back is. I think Dr. Mike Patel talked about this in one of his videos. But how big your back is a crazy like part of how big you look, because first off, your rear delts and your shoulders, they got to be there. A lot of people they got like really big chest, really front delt, side delt, but as soon as the rear delt isn't there, it just doesn't look quite right. And then how big your back is, how much mass you just take up with your back. I feel like that's a huge contributor in just how big you look in general. But yeah, back to My Hero Academia. Sorry if I'm beating a dead horse. I feel like Deku just deserved better. What he got wasn't bad, but what he got compared to what he was given is crazy. But I guess that's a part of being. Sometimes heroes go unappreciated or underappreciated, even. Like Deku, because even his gift in the end, because all Deku did want to be was be a hero. So I guess in the end he got what he wanted, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he got what we'd wanted for him. Like sometimes you have your own dreams and aspirations, or you're okay with some things, but there are some people in your life that want more for you sometimes than what you want for yourself. And I guess Deku just wanted to be a hero, but if you look at it, he gave himself almost completely just to be able to do it again. So he risked his life, and his reward is to be able to risk his life more. Which I guess, like, if that's what he wants, that is what it is. But I feel like they should have hyped him up some more. He should have maybe been at a press conference, maybe giving a speech, maybe like some being at some world conference with world leaders. But I don't know. Some people say he should have just died. I feel like that would have been fucked up. Like for him to have completely died. But if they had killed him off and then given him like crazy clout, that would have been way better. But I think this is the end of the video. So peace.